We move on to intention to possess. Now, if we consider factual possession as the physical element, intention to possess is obviously the mental element, the intention. So intention to possess. In the case of Moran, it was very clearly identified that the required intention is not an intention to own someone else's land, nor is it to acquire someone else's land in any manner. It was an intention to possess. So what was intention to possess? The test to recognize whether intention to possess was there or not was brought forward in the same case that brought forward the test to establish factual possession, as discussed above, Powell versus Mcfarland. In the case of Powell versus Mcfarland, what the courts identified was that the intention is that in one's own name and on one's own behalf to exclude the world at large. Mind you, there's a small spelling mistake. World at large, not as large. On behalf of, so to exclude the world at large, including the paper owner, as far as reasonably practicable and as far as the law allows us. So what this simply means is intention to possess is the intention to use the said land for my own purpose, excluding anyone else, assuming the world at large, and also to exclude the real paper owner as well, as far as it's practical and as far as the law allows. So what you have to show is that all the things done are done in order to ensure that you yourself, let it be your family and you can be, to take control and use this said land for your purpose, excluding everyone else, including the landowner as well. Doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. Why? Because it deals with possession. It's not ownership that we're looking for. If it was ownership, things would be very different. Intention to own, intention to possess is very different. Possession and ownership are two different things. I have this bottle. I have possession over it. Does that mean I own it? It might be mine, but it might not be mine. It might be my wife's. So my wife owns it, but I have possession over it. So ownership and possession are not the same. Related, yes, but not the same. And what we look into here is possession. So to be honest, ownership is irrelevant. Doesn't matter if I know my wife owns this or it's somebody else's. Doesn't matter, because it doesn't matter for me to form the intention to possess it. Doesn't overlap with the intention to own it. I don't want to own this. I just want to use it as if it was mine. Doesn't matter if it's someone else's or not. I'm going to use it for my own purpose, excluding even the real owner from using it for their purpose. So if I am using this bottle without even letting my wife use it, that means I have the intention to have possession over it. So sometimes, however, now establishing an intention is a state of mind is not an easy task. So there's always the notion that intention to possess is always supplemented by the actions that are done to establish or ensure physical control. In Moran, locking the gates and putting up fences, why would anyone do all of that? Unless he wanted to use it for his own purpose and exclude everyone else from it. Would you agree, Vicky? Yeah. So obviously, the physical factors can be utilized for us to establish the mental element as well. Why? Our argument is, if not for the mental element being there, such physical actions would not be considered even. Erica, Megan, is that clear?
Yes.
So that is the second requirement, second element. And the third element and the final common law requirement is that possession must be adverse. So the term itself, adverse possession, it brings a sense of what you call harshness to it. It's not mere possession, it's adverse possession. So what is it that is required to prove that possession was adverse? Well, in order for possession to be adverse, consent should never be on the table. Vicky, you have a plot of land that you have neglected for certain time. And when I'm walking by your property, I see this and I've seen that this has not been utilized for some time. Then I come by your house and ask you, Vicky, since you're not utilizing this, can I grow some crops there? And I say, and Vicky says, okay, since I'm not using it, why not utilize it yourself? And then I go and start farming there. Is my possession adverse, Vicky?
No, because I give you consent.
Exactly. If there is consent, adverse possession will not be something that you can even consider.
Okay.
So much so that even if Vicky, when I was having a conversation, Vicky actually said that I was not to set foot on that property. But for some apparent reason, I mistook what she said and I thought she was okay with it. However, now in this situation, Vicky, you have not consented, but I am under the false premise that you have. Even that is fatal for a claim of adverse possession. Because if I know that even under a false presumption that you are consenting, I am unable to form the intention that is required.
Yeah.
So even if it's actual consent or consent that the adverse possessor falsely assumed, still consent in any form would make adverse possession, a claim of adverse possession,